Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining me on another video. So as some of you may have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, at Odyssey_offroad. If you don't, give me a follow on there too. You kind of get a little sneak preview of what's going on. So I purchased this RMAX 1000. This is the limited edition model, 4-seater, and it's a 2022. So in this video, I'm going to talk briefly quick why I got it, why I got rid of the Razor, and we'll go around and give you kind of a detailed walkthrough of the unit and my thoughts on it. And if you guys have any questions or comments, obviously, leave them below, and I'll try to get back to every one of you. So for starters, if you watched my last video, you've seen I had problems with the RZR, and Polaris wouldn't cover it. Long story short, had an issue with the front differential. Went out 8 days after warranty expired. Only had 700 miles on the vehicle. It was pristine condition. Polaris would not warranty it. So kind of had a bad taste in my mouth with Polaris from that. I wasn't really, I would say, 100% happy with the machine. It was what I needed. It was a 4-seater. It did everything fairly well. I had a couple of gripes about it, but I kind of don't want to get too much into it. I want to make this video more about the RMAX. So long story short, I sold it. I purchased this. Reason why I went with this machine, I need a 4-seater, obviously, but my preference would be to have a 2-seater. If I could have a 2-seater, I would have bought another KRX 1000 again. I had one. You guys see my last videos in the past on that. I absolutely loved that machine. I'd buy another one in a minute. If I could, if I could only needed a 2-seater, that's what I would get. I do need 4 seats. I have 2 kids that want to go out and regularly when I go out, and so does the wife. So options for 4-seaters are pretty limited. The Razor Pro, obviously, which is I sold it. The Can-Am X3 Max, which is 13 inches longer than the Pro I had, which was big to begin with. There was no way I was going bigger. Also, the seating position on those, super uncomfortable. I've had an X3 in the past. Good machine, but, the seating position and all the visibility issues aren't for me. The other option is a Talon 4-seater. Again, it's fairly big. And for what you get price-wise for the Talon versus the RMAX here, I know they're totally different categories. But you get a lot more for your money with this machine. And as I go through it, you'll see that. And there's a couple other reasons why. You guys follow me on my channel. I have a bunch of ATVs. Sometimes I want to take the side-by-side and a couple ATVs. And you can't fit all that stuff on the trailer. I'm not going to get, a wedge to tow all my toys. So this is only, a little over 10 feet long. So that leaves me with enough room to put another 2 ATVs behind it on the trailer, as well as one in the bed, and I'm good to go. With the Talon, I mean, pretty much same situation as with the Razor. It's about similar size, maybe a couple inches shorter. The Talon was my second choice. I was going to get a Talon. I called around. I got some prices on some. Most of the Talon 4-seaters you find now at the dealerships, at least out here out west, they're already custom builds from the shop, and they're charging the 2 shops that I called that had them with not too many goodies on it. Had a roll cage, some wheels and tires, bumper, a few odds and ends, and they wanted like 49 grand for them. I was like, there's no way I was paying that. That's for a Honda Talon. It's ludicrous. So this machine here is $26,699. It's the limited edition, so it's got every option available. That front, the only thing I've added, didn't come with, was the half windshield there and the front bash plate. You can see down there the aluminum front bash plate. Comes with the Warn winch. Comes with Fox IQS suspension, so it's adjustable from in the cab. And you can see there the adjusters. You see it's super clean. I have not even taken it out yet, other than around the block on pavement. This is the first time it's seen dirt, and it's only been on dirt for 50 feet. So this is right up the road from where I live. Head down that way, up into the mountains typically is where we ride. This machine is going to be perfect type of riding I do. Trail riding, exploratory, in nature, and you know, going out with the kids, having lunch up in the mountains. We come out the other side of the mountains, take the whole pass through, and there's another town called Sonoita that dumps you out in, and there's a restaurant over there, a brewery we go to for lunch. So this is a perfect machine for that. It rides super nice from what I've, done so far, which is really honestly just been on pavement. The road up here is a little rough, so it seemed to handle the bumps well. One thing I will say that I've noticed is the power steering is phenomenal. Now, I don't know how it'll be off-road, but I can tell you at any speed I've driven it on pavement, the power steering is like an automobile. I mean, it's like driving a car. Literally, you could turn with one finger. So that's one thing I noticed in the limited time I've been in the seat that's been phenomenal, is the power steering. So the Fox IQS suspension, that's one feature that comes on the LE model only, limited edition model only. The other thing is it comes with a stereo. It's SSV Works stereo system. You see right there also the switch for the winch. Comes with SSV stereo. I believe you get the SSV stereo now on the XTR model, but it only comes with the door speakers. On the Limited here, you'll get the speakers up here on the roof as well, and it's pre-wired for a subwoofer. So you can add the subwoofer. It's pre-wired from Yamaha. It's plug and play. I think it's $650 from Yamaha. But I will tell you this, the 4 speakers that are in this right now, minus the sub, really, the sound quality is amazing. I think it's better sound quality than the stereo, which is the Rockford Fosgate that was in the Razor I had. So the Pro XP Razor. But the sound quality is just, it's not as tinny, and I don't know. This sounds a little bit maybe clearer mid-range vocals, much more quality of a sound. So I'm actually thinking about even adding the sub and seeing how it sounds. So it sounds great with the 4 speakers. So besides that, it also comes with the Adventure Pro, which is like basically a tablet in the center console. There's a bunch of videos out on this already, so I won't go too crazy, but I'll fire it up for you. So the gauge cluster is really nice. You can have your engine temps there, a clock, RPMs. What I do, I just keep the engine temp there. I haven't really fooled around with the Adventure Pro too much yet. You have your maps, which you can go to from the bottom there, or you can just touch it right in the middle, and it goes to it. Go back to the dashboard. You can press and hold these areas and decide what else you want to have there. You can have your shock settings show up there. I have right now, the way it came, engine temp, battery voltage, RPMs, and then your mode from where you are. So it says we're in park. That's because we're in neutral, and the emergency brakes on. It does not have a park in the transmission. Just low, high, neutral, reverse. And then let me get in for you. I'll show you the shocks work. So you have comfort, and when you do it, it changes on the gauges. You can also have them change up there. Right now I don't have it set that way yet, but if I put it in, you'll see it goes to comfort, medium, and then firm. Okay, so I will tell you, comfort is very, very soft. So I would imagine if you're casually doing some trail riding that's really rough, you're not going too fast, and you put this thing in comfort, it's going to really just eat up the bumps. So that's one thing I've noticed about it so far. It will shut. So that'll ask you if you want to keep it on battery power, because you can take that, like I said, it's a tablet. If you pull this off, you can take that tablet out, bring it in your house, connect it to Wi-Fi, update the system, update your maps, all that stuff. And it's also got a memory card slot on the side, so if you have some maps from other units that you have, you can stick them in there and load them into this unit. It's like a Magellan, I believe. So it'll work with that. Very nice. Some people I've seen online have reported some issues with the tablet not working, the way they would like. Again, I have limited use with the machine so far. This is kind of preliminary introduction video to the unit, not really a review per se. But I've fooled around a little bit, haven't noticed any glitches or slowness or anything. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Obviously, just like with the Razor, if I have any issues, I'll let you know. Upfront and honest with you. Sorry about the noise. Some on a road here, and some vehicles are passing by. But center console is nice. It's not too deep, but you can put your phone, wallet, maybe some gloves. Keep owner's manual in here possibly, or whatever else you want to keep in there in the front slot. It's not too small. I mean, you can keep some stuff. It's about double the size of my hand and probably 3 inches deep in the back, maybe 1.5 inches in the front. So it holds some stuff. Cup holders don't appear to be hot. A little bit warm. I wouldn't say hot. In the Razor, they would melt the skin off your fingers. So the back ones, that's the engine cover. So I don't know how hot they're gonna get. They feel a little bit warm. Not too bad, but I only drove it up the road here, so that'll be something I'll report back on with you guys. There is some thick insulation under the engine cover. You'll take that off to check your oil, change spark plugs, and it's literally 2 minutes to get that thing off. You have 2 clips there, 2 on the other side, 1 on the top there, and you pop those off. The engine cover comes off. I had it off last night to check all the fluids. One thing I will tell you is, if you buy one of these, any machine, I mean, I do it on all my machines, check all the fluids before you take it out for a ride. The front diff fluid was a couple ounces low. Probably wouldn't have been a problem, but I always check all the fluids before I use the machine. So I topped them all off last night. Engine oil was fine. Rear diff took like 1 ounce. Transmission was full. Transmission fluid you're going to check on the passenger side, under the seat. That's also super easy to get to, which is nice. You don't need there's no bolt to take out to check the transmission fluid. You can just pop the seat bottom off. There's a little door right here. And then you see the dipstick is right there for the transmission. So that's the transmission fluid. Check. It's kind of like a car. You'll check that cold on this. One thing that was nice is I was looking through the owner's manual, kind of seeing what kind of fluids the unit takes. 10W40 for the engine, which is what I'll run in the hot climates here. And the rear diff, the transmission, and the front diff all take the same fluid, which is 80W90 GL5 gear oil. So if you run in synthetic, it's going to be 7590. So you can just buy, a few bottles of the same fluid and do everything, instead of, like, I've had machines in the past, like the Can-Am, the front takes 75-140, the back takes 75-90. It's three plus your engine oil. You have 3 different fluids you got to buy. This is just one fluid for all 3, for the 2 diffs and the tranny, and then your engine oil, and you're good. So the reason I got this, again, is for the value. You get a lot for the money. All the reviews I've seen on this machine, looks aside, I get the 4-seater, looks a little funky with the back cage. I'm in 100% agreement with that. If I would keep this machine long term, I'll probably have a custom cage built. It kind of come straight across, get that hump out, and make it look a little slicker. So, but I got it for the value aspect and for its trailworthiness and durability. It's a Yamaha. Yamaha products are typically very reliable, very well built. I have a Yamaha Raptor 700, as you guys know, and I have a Yamaha Raptor 350, which I bought for my daughter. So I'm familiar with Yamaha products. I've had Yamaha products in the past. Grizzly 660 my brother had. Never had any problems with them. So I'm hoping for the same reliability with this. And every review I've seen on this machine says the trail comfort and the way it handles and the way it performs is amazing. It's not really in the same category as your Teryx, your Kawasaki Teryx, which is the other machine that's built this way, in a sense that where it's a 4-seater and your seats are over your rear tires, and it's a short machine. It's as where Polaris and Can-Am, Honda stretch the machine out. You got 4 full doors, and then plus the storage bed in the back. This is more on the Teryx build way of things, you know, with putting the seats over the back. So, but performance-wise, this is a 1000cc. Drag races and stuff like that, I've seen it run neck and neck with a Honda Talon, and it beats a KRX. And I was happy with the power in my KRX, so I'm positive I'm going to be happy with the power in this. I will tell you the different drive modes, which I'm not sure if I showed you, but I'll show you now. It's got the drive mode selector in the cab here. So you have sport, trail, and crawl. If you cannot drive this machine around on the pavement in sport mode, because the throttle is so jumpy. It just wants to take off. So I love, you know, have it trail mode, and it drives really nice. It feels like the KRX did almost, power wise. Engine noise is another question people always have about these things. From what I've seen, some people say yes, they're loud. Some people say no, they're not as loud as other machines I've had. So I don't have enough seat time in it to really give you a definitive answer. From just driving it around the block, I would say it's probably about as loud as my KRX was, and not as loud as my X3 was. I had a 2-seater X3 with the clutch would just scream in your back ear, you know, behind your ear, behind your head, where the clutch intake was the whole ride. And you'd have a headache after every ride. I couldn't take that. So it's a good machine. Seems well built. I haven't found anything, you know, loose bolts or anything like that, other than a couple ounces of fluid that was low in the front diff, which I topped off myself. It seems good. Came from the factory with like 16 pounds in the tires. I put them down to 13. They are pretty soft sidewalls on these. They come with 29-inch Maxxis, not Carnivores. They're Carnage. Maxxis Carnage tires. Now the rears, this is my only gripe about the machine. On the 2-seaters, they give you a square tire setup, which if you guys watched my review and discussion with the Polaris Razor, that was something I didn't like about that, is they put wider wheels in the back than on the front. You can't rotate them, so you just burning through back tires, and you're just going to keep replacing back tires. So what I'll do is I'll wear these down for a while. I'll use them up, you know, they're brand new. And then once I replace the tires, I'll replace the wheels too. I like these wheels, so I wouldn't replace them if they were the same size front and back, to be honest with you, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with them. They're a nice aluminum wheel. That's one thing Yamaha does, is put a nice wheel on it. The factory Polaris wheels were ugly as sin. The Can-Am wheels aren't too bad either, but I think the Honda Talon factory wheels are ugly, and I think the factory wheels on all the Polarises are ugly. So I don't know why it doesn't cost them any more to make a nicer design, but I think these wheels are pretty nice. But they're 11-inch wide in the back, 29 by 11 by 14. And then in the front, you got a 29 by 9, 14. So, you know, it looks great. I understand probably why they do it. They want to put a little wider tire in the back for stability purposes, maybe with the extra seats. That's just what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with a square tire setup on a 5.2 offset. Once these wear down a little bit, we'll put a 5.2 offset wheel, which is only going to, it's going to be pretty close to stock width. It'll maybe widen it an inch. So I don't want to go, you know, killing the offset and making it super wide. It's 64 now. I haven't measured it to see if it's a true 64, but from everything I've seen online, people say they typically fall between 64 and 65 inches factory. So it's probably pretty true. If I go with a 5.2 offset, I'll be about 65 inches or so, and that's fine with me. And then I'll just do a 30-inch tire and make it an even number. I'm not going to go up to 32 and have to redo the clutch weights and all that stuff. I don't really want to get into that. It's going to be a trail machine. It's got a ton of ground clearance now. It's over 13 inches. Measured it the other day. It was about 13 and a half, close to 14, front and rear. So I'll be curious to see how that settles in. The paint on this thing is amazing. I don't know if you can really see it here, but it's a super metallic flake on the white. And again, sorry about the car noise here. And then the silver is a matte. It's a matte finish. But the metallic flake here, it's hard to see it. It's kind of cloudy right now, but I don't know if you can get a glimpse of it right there. It's a heavy, heavy metallic flake in here, almost like a pearl paint job on a car. And it's beautiful. I mean, I didn't know that when I went to pick it up, and I pulled up in the parking lot and saw the unit sitting there first thing I noticed, it was a sunny day, how sparkly the paint was, which kind of surprised me because from the photos you see online, it's very hard to tell how this color scheme looks in person. And people are always asking, hey, does anybody have the new 22 LE yet? Because I don't know how it looks in person. It's hard to tell in the photos. And I tell you, looks nothing like in the photos. A lot of the photos don't really depict the break in the silver and the white, you know? So as you can see, the hood there was all white. Silver here on the over fenders. And then you got the white through the doors into the silver on the over fenders on the bed. Obviously black tailgate. So it looks great. When now the sun's come out a little bit, you can probably see that pearl a little. It's really, really nice. So I thought it was just a flat white, but it's really nice. I'm gonna give it a nice coat of ceramic spray before we take it out for the first time. It really helps keep it clean. Helps it wash easier. I did it on my other machines, and it's the way to go. So that I'm not into that SC1 stuff. It's like greasy. Dust sticks to it. You know, that just makes for it's all right, I guess, if you're going in the mud and you want the mud to slide off. But, you know, I ride in dusty conditions, and with that SC1 stuff, the dust just sticks to it like a magnet. So I don't need that. The other thing with the LE model is you get the better seats. The base model comes with cheaper seats. There's no stitching. The bolstering isn't as good. They had one at the dealership when I was there, and I was looking at it, and it's not at all the same seat, totally different seat. So it says, you know, obviously Wolverine stitched into them. Back seats, I would say if you're carrying around 4 adults regularly, this is not the vehicle for you. The back seats are great, perfect for the kids. The kids actually love it on the back seat here. They sat in it. I'll show you what it's like with me sitting in it. I am about 5'7", 5'8", and 170 pounds. So it's very comfortable. The grab bar is right here within reach. Your lumbar support on the seats is super nice. For a long ride, I think you'd be fine. My leg is pushed over a drop because of the engine cover. It does push your leg over a drop. So, but there's plenty of room for your feet. And if you got big feet, I got a size 9.5. So I got plenty of room here still. But the way it's angled too, it kind of gives the passenger, if you're adult, you know, plant yourself a little bit and hold on to the grab bar. You know, if you're doing some gnarly terrain and navigating some rocks or hills. So, and you can see the space between, plenty enough to fit a cooler. The trunk there, I'll show you that with the tailgate down. But I mean, the back seat's fine. If you're going to take a couple friends out for the day, if you're going to regularly drive adults and a back seat, I would suggest getting something bigger. That's a little more comfortable for them. But if you're bigger than me, you may be a little more cramped. But like again, I'm not a big guy, but I got this machine so I can carry the kids in the back, not carrying adults back there. So that's not even an issue for me. I understand why it would be an issue for some. But tailgate's nice, opens up. They make a storage box for the back that takes away the tailgate, but it looks like the tailgate's still there, if you know what I'm saying. So the back of the storage box looks just like this, minus the handle. And it says Yamaha, it's black, same body lines and everything. Only it fills in this area here, which is about 10, 12 inches. It fills that whole area there as a sealed storage box. So that's about $360 from Yamaha. I like that idea. I was thinking about getting it, but I also like the tailgate. And the kids are like, we can go out in the mountains, have a picnic, whatever, sit on the tailgate. you know how kids are. So I kind of not sure how I feel about losing the tailgate. So I'm kind of this way, that way with getting the storage box. So we'll see. The tail lights are pretty cool. It's almost like a truck. Tail lights, the way they're in the bedsides on a truck. And then it has reverse lights. So when you put it in reverse, the center here lights up, you have a full reverse light. And I realized that when I was backing it off the trailer, because I got home, when I picked it up, it was nighttime, backing it off the trailer and had reverse lights. So that was a nice little surprise I didn't even know it had. It's got a hitch, 2-inch receiver built in. You can tow 2,000 pounds with it, which is actually pretty cool because where I keep my trailer on my property, it's on the side of the yard. And sometimes I want to pull the trailer into the front of the yard to kind of get it ready for a trip on the next day, and I don't want to take the truck out and navigate down the side, hook it up, disconnect it. So it'd be nice to just kind of use this, grab the trailer, bring it up front without having to hook it up to the truck a couple times. So that's a pretty neat feature, or even if I just got to move it around doing yard work or what have you. So I added the bash plate, I added the windshield. I have another part at home. It just came in today. I'm gonna install, and they are like filler panels. They fill in this area here on both sides, so you can see like behind the dash where all the wiring and the plugs are. It's kind of exposed. It doesn't expose into the cab, but to me, I just want to protect that area there. There's no sense leaving that all open. It's just asking for a potential problem. So I got they're like, I think they cost me $30, I want to say. And I'll put the link for the website that I bought them from. I think it's like Get Lit Off-Road or something like that. But they're just plastic filler panels, and then they utilize the factory mounting holes right there, and then and up there, I believe. And then they kind of slide in behind on this one, and then on the other side, same thing. That's the back of the glove box, so it'll kind of block that all off and sitting there, tuck back there nice and fill in that area, so it'll kind of look just smooth all the way up, if you know what I'm saying. So be easy to clean. You're not going to get all kind of dirt and mud and water in there, and probably better for the electrical plugs in the long run to not keep getting wet all the time. So keep everything, semi-dry. So the half windshield, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. We'll see. Some half windshields are good, some aren't. Really depends on the machine and how they are, but we'll see how that does. I'll report back on the machine. I would say I'm thinking at like 500 miles we'll do a review, like a good review on it, my thoughts on it, how it's holding up, if the suspension sagged any problems. And then but if you guys want a sooner update, just let me know. I have no problems making another video and doing it, talking about it. If there's anything I missed here that you have questions about, leave a comment below. But I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel, sticking with me through all the constant evolution of the channel, changing of the machines. I know sometimes people follow someone because they're into, type of vehicle they have, and then, I go through machines, seems like, rather quickly. So hoping to keep this one around for a while. We'll see how she does. But again, for all you who've stuck with me throughout all this, I appreciate it. Smash the like button if you like it. And for all the new subscribers, appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There'll be a ton more content on this. I got some more ATV content as well. So let me know what you guys like and what you want to see. If you got any questions, again, leave the comments below. We'll see you on the next one, and ride safe out there.